I've always loved Halloween. But that night, I learned what happens when something else celebrates it too. I was 23 at the time, renting a small basement apartment on the edge of town. It wasn't fancy, low ceiling, concrete floors, that constant smell of damp air, but it was cheap, and it was mine. Halloween had always been my favorite holiday. Pumpkin candles, horror movies, fake spiderwebs, I went all out. That year, I decided to stay in and hand out candy. You know, something chill for once. Around 6 p.m., kids started knocking. Tiny ghosts, vampires, superheroes, the usual stuff. It was normal, until I noticed something weird. A kid showed up wearing a mask that looked too real. Not like a store-bought one, this one looked handmade, stitched together from dirty fabric with black thread still hanging off. And the eyes, they weren't holes. They were just black mesh, like there was nothing behind them. He didn't say a word. Just stood there with an old brown bucket. I laughed nervously. "Nice costume, buddy," I said, dropping candy inside. But he didn't move. He just tilted his head, like a dog trying to understand a sound. Then he turned around, slow, and walked away. Didn't go to any other door. Just down the street until he vanished behind the trees. I brushed it off. Probably some edgy teen trying to be creepy, right? The next morning, I found something on my porch. A single piece of candy, the same kind I'd handed out, but bitten. Half melted. Wrapper torn. No note, no footprints, nothing. I remember feeling this weird mix of dread and curiosity. I told myself maybe one of the neighborhood kids dropped it. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about that mask. That night, I had trouble sleeping. The air felt heavier somehow, like the room itself was breathing with me. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a soft tapping sound. Not at the door. At the window. My basement window sits at ground level, right where the dirt meets the glass. I peeked out, nothing. Then the tapping started again, faster. My heart started pounding. I turned on my phone flashlight and aimed it at the window. Something ducked out of view. I swear I saw a face, pale, stretched tight, like skin pulled over bone. I froze. No footsteps. No running. Just silence. I waited till morning before checking. Outside the window, I found tiny handprints in the dirt. Way too small to be an adult's. But too long to be a kid's. Halloween night came again. Same decorations still up, same porch light glowing orange. But no kids this time. The whole street felt empty, like a ghost town. Around 9 p.m., my neighbor, Mrs. Cole, texted me asking if I'd seen her son. I hadn't. He'd gone trick-or-treating, and never came home. Cops came. Flashlights everywhere. They searched the woods behind my apartment. I stood outside watching their lights flicker through the trees. That's when I noticed something strange. At the edge of the woods, right where the shadows thickened, I saw that same mask staring at me. It was just standing there. Not moving. Like it was waiting for me to notice. One of the cops shouted, and when I looked back, it was gone. That night, I locked every door, every window. I even pushed a chair under the doorknob. But around midnight, there it was again. Knock. 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 3 times. Slow. Measured. Like whoever it was wanted me to listen. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then, my phone buzzed. It was a text. Unknown number. No name. No profile. Just one message. You forgot to give me candy. My heart dropped. I turned off all the lights and sat in silence. I could still hear faint breathing from the other side of the door. Then, scratching. Long, slow, deliberate. Like nails dragging across the wood. I wanted to call 911, but I was terrified it'd hear me speak. The scratching stopped after maybe a minute. Then came the sound of something small being set down. When I finally opened the door at dawn, there was a small, brown bucket. Same one from before. Inside was a piece of candy, bitten in half. I didn't go to work. Didn't even open the blinds. I was paranoid, jumpy, losing sleep. That afternoon, I got a message from my landlord. "Hey, we found an old security tape from the basement entrance. Want me to drop it off?" I said yes. I don't even know why. Curiosity, maybe. Or fear. I popped it in my old player. Static. Then grainy footage of my porch from 2 nights ago. You could see me sitting inside through the window. Then, 11:57 p.m., movement at the edge of the frame. That thing in the mask slowly crawled up the steps. Not walked. Crawled. On all fours, with its head turned completely sideways. It stopped at the door, and just stared at it for almost 10 minutes. Then it leaned close. And the audio picked up this faint whisper. Trick or treat. That night, I couldn't take it anymore. I packed my things. Decided to leave before dark. But when I went to unplug my lamp, I noticed something behind it. A small hole in the wall, like a tunnel. It was covered with old boards, barely holding together. And from inside that hole, I heard breathing. Deep. Slow. Like someone was right there, waiting. I dropped everything and ran outside. Didn't stop till I reached my car. I didn't even lock the door behind me. It's been 3 years since that Halloween. I moved across the state, changed my number, never told anyone where I went. But sometimes, on Halloween night, I still find small brown buckets on my porch. Each one with a half-eaten piece of candy inside. And last year, when I checked the security cam footage, for just 1 second before the clip glitched, I saw him again. Standing at the edge of my yard. Mask tilted. Watching. Maybe it was a person. Maybe some twisted prank that never ended. But sometimes, when the air turns cold and kids start knocking on doors, I can't help but wonder. What if Halloween isn't our holiday? What if it's theirs? And we're just the ones giving out the offerings? I know everyone says Halloween is just a night of fun. But after what I saw last year, I can't even look at a pumpkin without feeling sick. Last Halloween was supposed to be chill. I wasn't a kid anymore, no parties, no costumes, just me, some leftover pizza, and a horror movie marathon. I lived alone in a small rental house, cheap, quiet, nothing fancy. The kind of neighborhood where people decorate like crazy. Fake cobwebs, skeletons on porches, motion-activated witches that scream when you walk by. It was around 10 p.m. when I finally turned off my porch light. You know what that means, right? No more candy. Trick-or-treating hours were over. Or, they should have been. About 15 minutes later, I heard a knock. Not playful. Not the quick tap of some kid wanting candy. It was slow, deliberate. 3 knocks. Then silence. I froze. I wasn't expecting anyone. I waited, thinking maybe it was a delivery driver lost or something. But then, 3 more knocks. Same rhythm. I didn't open the door. I just looked through the peephole. And that's when I saw it. A kid. Maybe 8 or 9. Standing perfectly still on my porch. Wearing this old, faded scarecrow mask. No costume under it, just a dirty gray hoodie. No candy bag. No parents nearby. Just, standing there. I almost opened the door. I even said, "Hey, trick-or-treating's over, buddy." But the kid didn't move. After about 30 seconds, they just walked away. Not down the sidewalk, though. Across my lawn. Into the dark side of the street. I tried to shake it off. Probably just some local prank, right? Still, something about that mask stuck with me. Around midnight, I went to lock up and saw something weird on my security camera feed. My front camera showed static for a few seconds around 10:20 p.m., right when that kid knocked. When the image came back, I swear I saw a second figure standing at the edge of my yard. Tall. Motionless. Watching. I told myself it was a trick of the light. Maybe a Halloween prop from a neighbor's yard. But deep down, it didn't feel right. The next night, November 1st, I got home late from work. No decorations. No candy. Halloween was done. Still, when I walked inside, I noticed muddy footprints on my porch. Small ones. Like a child's. I checked the cameras again, nothing. The recording for that hour was gone. Deleted. Now, I know I didn't erase it. That's when I started getting scared for real. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing little noises. Scratching. Like fingernails dragging along my hallway walls. Every time I checked, nothing. Then around 3 a.m., I heard something from the backyard. A faint creaking. Like my old swing set moving, even though there was no wind. I grabbed a flashlight and peeked out the window. The swing was moving slowly. And sitting on it, was that same scarecrow mask. But this time, no kid. Just the mask, dangling from the rope. I called my friend Mark the next morning. He's a cop, so I told him everything. He came over, checked the yard, the cameras, everything. And he said, "You sure you didn't decorate that yourself?" I showed him the footage gaps, but he shrugged. Said maybe my system glitched. He left around noon. I sat on my couch, trying to calm down. That's when my phone rang. No caller ID. I answered, expecting spam. But what I heard? It was the sound of 3 slow knocks. No voice. Just that same rhythm. And behind it, faint breathing. I hung up instantly. I barely slept that night. Every sound made me jump. At one point, I thought I heard footsteps in my hallway. So I did something stupid. I called out. "If someone's there, I'm calling the cops." And right after I said that, from the other side of my bedroom door, 3 slow knocks. I lost it. Grabbed my phone, ran out the back door, didn't even look behind me. I sat in my car till sunrise. When I finally went back inside, the house was quiet. Nothing broken. Nothing stolen. But every mirror in my hallway had been turned to face the wall. A few weeks passed. I moved out. Didn't even take half my stuff. But a few days ago, the new tenant messaged me on Facebook. They asked if I ever left a Halloween decoration behind. I said no. Then they sent a picture. It was that same scarecrow mask, lying on their porch step. No note. No footprints. Just the mask. I've tried to forget it. But every Halloween night since then, at exactly 10:20 p.m., I still get a call with 3 slow knocks before it hangs up. Maybe it's a prank. Or maybe that mask was never just a mask.